We did absolutely fantastically in Somerset and Gloucestershire, but can we just have a minute's silence for those that lost their lives down there, for the badgers that actually lost their lives down there? Minute's silence. Right, if it wasn't for you guys out there, that would have been a hell of a lot longer than a minute. There would have been a hell of a lot more killed. A hell of a lot more killed. Fantastic job done by everybody down there. Right, first person we've got speaking today is Peter Martin from Gloucestershire Against Badger Shooting.
Well, here we are again. How fantastic. We've just been walking around the street saying, stop the Cull. Well, we have. It stopped. There's been no extension. Yay! But after the last speaker, I was going to say exactly the same. Congratulations to everybody, because you've done this. It's you. You've stopped the Cull. You've stopped a major government policy in the countryside in its tracks. The NFU now realise they cannot beat us on the ground. They can't do it because of you. So give yourselves a massive round of applause. But we've also achieved an awful lot of other things. We've won all the scientific arguments. We've all been on the internet. There'll be an article in the newspaper, and then there'll be a little comment section underneath. 9 months ago, those comment sections were dominated by farmers saying, no, we've got to do this. Now, if you're not on in the first 10 minutes, you can't get on. For people like you, presenting the science, presenting the arguments, and knocking them all on the head. So that is fantastic as well. Give yourselves a round of applause. Another achievement that you've made is that now, for MPs, the badger cull is the 5th most asked question of MPs in the countryside, in the country. So give yourselves another round of applause. Okay. Amazingly, I'm not loud enough, so I'll stick it a bit closer to my mouth. Right. But one of the most significant achievements that you have achieved, or we have achieved, is that there was a Comres poll last week that said that 90% of the people who were asked were against the badger cull. Now, I come from a marketing background, okay? We used to dream of 90%. No one gets 90% on a survey. That's just nirvana. It's never heard of. Not even the cats get 90%. It's only 8 out of 10. Okay, so that is a massive achievement, because what we've done is we've won the battle for the hearts and minds of this country about badgers. And it's not really about badgers, it's actually about wildlife, and that's what our country cares about, is wildlife. They don't like seeing a senseless slaughter of wildlife by people who don't believe in science, who don't believe in democracy, and who just want to kill things. So that is another fantastic achievement, and I hope when you go away today you think about that, because 90% is just, you never see survey results that say 90% in favour of a proposition. So give yourselves another massive round of applause. Before I say what our next major achievement is, I want to quote my favourite political quote. And it runs like this: the people are more honest than the nobles are, for the nobles want always to oppress the people, whereas the people want only not to be oppressed. And you think that's a very interesting quote, and you might think that's Marx or Engels or someone, but it isn't. It's Niccolo Machiavelli. the Tories' favourite philosopher. And it's one of the most piercingly accurate observations about how people react. We only want not to be oppressed. We only want our wildlife not to be oppressed. And, thank you. And that's why it's so difficult to organise something like this. That's why the next massive achievement is that we've come together in huge numbers to fight this cull and to fight the threat to our wildlife. That is absolutely massive. I also think, going back through history, this is a kind of El Alamein moment for us and for the wildlife movement. People who know their history of the Second World War, when it was all done, the historians looked at it, and just about everything up to the Battle of El Alamein had gone against the Allies and everything was bad. After El Alamein, everything went for the Allies and fascism was defeated. And I just have a feeling that this is one of those moments in the history of the wildlife movement and care for our countryside. We've got so organised now that they are frightened of us, and I think that is also a massive achievement. However, history also tells us that popular movements very often fizzle out, and that's because people lose their focus, there's a little bit of infighting, no one knows where to go next. So where we go next, I think, is really important. We've seen Andrew Guest on our televisions, Andrew Guest from the NFU recently, looking really rather smug about all this. Let's have a big boo for Andrew. He hates me. I keep coming across him at meetings and giving him a very hard time. But the reason he's looking smug is the farmers now know they can't defeat us in the field. So we all know in our hearts, they're going to go on killing badgers illegally. And that is our next objective. We now need to get over our rest period, get organised again. We need to spread out into the countryside, and we need to start finding farmers illegally culling badgers. And we need to get good quality evidence, and we need to get prosecutions. And it's only when the farmers fear to go out at night for finding a sab with a camera that they will stop killing badgers. So without wishing to go on too long, I always end my speeches with the same thing. We are winning, okay? But this time we've won a major battle, but we've got a long, long campaign against us, ahead of us, against the culling of badgers. So I'll say it again. We are winning, keep winning.